I thought as I'm cooking, I will cook and I will bring you all up to date with how I did after 7 days on track, 7 blue dots, weighed this morning, absolutely over the moon. So before I tell you my result, last week I made a little video in my Facebook group, and I was kind of low. I'd gone on the scales, realised I was the lowest, the heaviest I'd ever been. So I weighed in at 13 stone 8, and I just vowed last week that I would just be more mindful and I would just make sure I was being accountable and tracking my food, because I hadn't been. And it turned out that I had a way better week than I expected. I 100% was only like a carb on it, and I have lost 5 pounds. Yeah. No, I don't remember the last time I lost 5 pounds. I'm under no illusion that some of it might have been water retention or whatever, but I'm taking 5 pounds. And can I say, that was with my shoes on. So I am weighing 13.3 this morning, so that's the first 5 pound gone. I had a memory come up in my timeline yesterday. This time last year I was 12.7, so I'd put a stone on. So, you know, onwards and upwards, and let's do this. Let everybody do it with me. So I'm making butternut squash today, and I have got a recipe, but I ain't really following it. See all these people doing all these like online YouTube videos, and they've all got their makeup on and the da-da-da. You're lucky I've got my bra on, and I've only got my bra on because I've just come home from work, and I thought I better leave it on. And I'm taking it off, and the minute I finish this video, the bra is coming off. So let me just have a quick look. So I was supposed to put the butternut squash in here now, but the butternut squash is in the oven because it was frozen and I weren't sure if it worked, so I'm going to do it this way. Then it said add the onion, so I will try and find this recipe. But it's just a risotto recipe basically, and I haven't made risotto for years because it's a faff. You have to, oh man, you have to keep just standing here and putting ladles of water in. But we'll have a dabble. So I don't know if I think I've probably only ever made a risotto once in my life. So all I've put in here so far is a bit of oil, some onion and garlic. And then I've added my rice for a minute, and then it says add a ladle of stock. Let's find a ladle and stir. I'll be with you in a minute. So ladle of stock and stir, because unlike them professionals, I'm following a recipe because I'm winging it. We wing it in my house. We don't really read the recipe first or any of that. We just look through and find something we like. And I found this one. I was trying to find something to make with my frozen bag of butternut squash that's been in the freezer for a good few months and needs being used out of the way. So you add this a ladleful at a time. Cook until the rice absorbs the stock before adding more, and you add it 1 ladleful at a time for 10 to 15 minutes. So 15 minutes is when my butternut squash will be done. How about that? And that was even accidental. That wasn't even planned. So we can just do that. So while that's doing that, we'll keep my eye on it. So what did I do this week? So I've lost 5 pounds, and I'm bang on chuffed to that because ad shows that I can lose weight. I'll be happy to chip away at it now, £1 a week, because let's be honest, I've done it myself and I watch members do it all the time. They want it all off in a fortnight, stone in a day, all that sort of thing. And they eat lettuce and then bored out the brains, and within 6 weeks all they want is a chocolate party or a wine party. Ooh, wine. Ooh, 15 minutes to noon. I'll have to wait. I'm not a lush. I didn't have a glass of wine last week. So I had 3 alcohol-free days last week to prove that I'm not an alcoholic. But I ended the week with spare weekly, so there's no need to do that this week. As long as I just cut down, that's all I need to do. So, another ladleful. So what else helped me? So last Saturday when I got off that call, when I got off my little video that I made, I came in this kitchen, this very kitchen, and I took everything out of the freezer, and I made a list of everything I'd got in the freezer. Then I went in this cupboard here and I made a list of everything that was in that cupboard. I did do myself a little Excel spreadsheet because I'm a little bit sad and I like to play on the computer, keep me hand in case I ever have to be a secretary again. So I did that, and then I meal planned, and I've never been a meal planner. I've always thought it was a really boring thing to do, but because I'd got Marley's menus delivering me some meals on the afternoon, I knew that I'd got to fit them in, fit the points in, and still be able to enjoy life and have a bit of food and all that malarkey. So I planned my entire week. Did I stick to it 100%? No. This butternut squash was supposed to be, risotto was supposed to be yesterday's dinner, but I didn't fancy it. I just had salad and crackers and cheese by the time I got to that. And then I think the liver and onions I took out the freezer was a bit meh. So Alfie ate the liver and the onions went in the bin. What else did I do? But more or less, yeah, everything else. Some of my breakfast, instead of being eggs, just turned into fruit and yoghurt because I couldn't be faffing with anything. But overall, I stuck to my points and I ended up with, I've blogged it this morning, I think I ended up with 15 leftover weeklies. Never touched my fit points. I've always had my fit points in the past but never touched them. So it's a good start. I'm not planning to be that strict going forward because I like a glass of wine. I'd rather lose my weight slowly. But I'm chuffed. So this week I'm doing the same. When I finish this today, when I've had my dinner, bit of dill. Check me out with my fresh herbs. When I've had my dinner, see, a professional wouldn't leave the screen. I'm going to sit and plan my meals again for the week. I really enjoy doing it. But I've already sat and picked out some recipes from this Meals for One cookbook from WW because I was a bit concerned that there isn't room in the freezer to cook anything that serves 4 until I get more stuff down and eat more of what's already in there. So I've picked out a few recipes in here. I can't remember what they are. They're on my spreadsheet. They're in my Excel spreadsheet meal planning document, I'll have you know. But that's good. And then this came yesterday. I haven't bought a proper cookbook in so long, but I'd seen him on the One Show and I'd heard that he'd done some videos in lockdown, and then I watched the first episode of this series, which is called Keep Cooking Family Favourites or something. It's on Channel 4. And I liked everything he cooked. And normally I wouldn't normally like everything they cooked. Normally I kind of think, ooh, it looks lovely, but I wouldn't be faffing cooking that. So I ordered it knowing that it was basically it's 18 favourite ingredients, and he's cooked 7 different meals with each of the ingredients. So it's things like butternut squash, chicken breast, fish, eggs, mince, peppers, prawns. I can't eat prawns, but I'm sure we can swap them prawns for something else if there's a recipe. Cauliflower. This looks lovely. Let me find it. Let me just show you the picture. Keep stirring, Bev. Stop stirring, because this better taste bloody good. There's a cauliflower cheese pasta which looks nice, and a cauliflower chicken pot pie also looks nice. But this is the one. How good does that look? Spiced cauliflower rice pie. I've got to have me a bit of that. I have definitely got to have me a bit of that. It's got, and the other good thing about this book is there's only 8 ingredients in every recipe. So 2 onions, a head of cauliflower, 3 tablespoons of tikka curry paste, a bag of basmati rice, so it's proper rice, 3 fresh mixed colour chilies, 1 bunch coriander, and 6 tablespoons of natural yoghurt. And every recipe in here, apart from oil, has only got 8 ingredients, which I think is pretty damn good. I will be going through some of them over the weekend and planning them for the week after, because obviously my delivery food shop is coming tomorrow. So yeah, planning worked for me 100%. Knowing what I'd already got in the cupboards and the freezer also worked for me. I've got lots of, the reason I haven't had a Marley's menu, any food from there this week, is because I've got a lot of curries already in my freezer that I need to consume. And payday's not till next week. I can't afford nothing, that's the other reason, if I'm honest. So this is going down nicely. Doing that. What else have I got to tell you? I know there's something else. So tracked 100% on my app, even tracked my skim milk in my 2 cups of tea, because I've cut right down to 2 cups of tea. Oh, that's what. Let's talk about habits, because that's what this week's virtual workshops have been all about. I did mine last Sunday at 10. Next week's I've got tomorrow morning at 10 in the Stafford group, if you'd like to come and join me. But it's all been about habit changes and putting it all together, and I've got to say, it works. Oh, it's sticking. You can't stick, you ain't allowed to. Bloody stick to the bottom. So it's all been about habit changes. So I can honestly say, over the last 4 months, I have been working on that. So I don't know if you can see from there, but that's fruit. So them are the 2 pieces I'm still going to eat today. So I've already had a nectarine and I've already had an apple. To get into the habit of doing that, what I did back at the start, it's sticking to the pan. Hold on, need a cloth. Hello Alfie, you come to see why I'm talking to myself. Me and you fell out yesterday, Davey, mate. Me and you fell out, you was in the doghouse literally. Oh, it don't matter, does it, if sun's stuck. Look at that spoon on it. Oh, it's coming off now, I bet that. That was weird. Yeah, habits. So, how I started making sure I remembered to eat fruit was when I got up in the morning, come down and turned the kettle on to make me that first cup of tea. I picked up a piece of fruit out the bowl, which was at the side of the kettle back then, to make sure that I'd got a piece of fruit and I was going to eat one. That was my rule. I had to have a piece of fruit if I wanted a cup of tea. Now I've got used to eating the fruit, I don't have to do that because it's more automatic. But I'd say it took me about 2-3 months to get into the habit of being automatic. But also, it took that long for me to actually start liking fruit. I take it or leave it. I've never been a massive fan of fruit. It's just one of them things I can take or leave. But I'm actually enjoying it, and what I've realised is you need to buy it when it's in season. So right now, the nectarines are to die for. The plums are good. Yes, I buy what's in season. I buy these apples that I buy from Sainsbury's, and them little mini apples in a bag for 85p. How good is that? I like a bargain, me. I'm proper cheap. So that's what I've been doing. So that was one habit I'd worked on. And another one is my yoga. So every morning when I get up, I do some yoga. Notice I said some and not how much. So first it was 20 minutes a day. I was doing the beginner one and I did it for 7 days every day just to get used to it. Now what I've realised, and this goes for anything, not just yoga, it's about showing up. So even though you're not gonna, if you go to the gym or you go to the workshops, you are not gonna want to go every week. You're not gonna want to go every day. You're not gonna want to get wage. You're not gonna be on plan all the time. But the trick is to show up regardless. So on the days when I get up and I think, do you know what, my back's in bits, I really don't want to do half an hour yoga, I just stand on the mat and I find one that looks easy and short. 15 minutes is about the shortest you can get. And I'll just stand and watch it and do what I can do or what I feel like doing. But by doing that, I go back the next day when I feel better. And I know if I skip a day, I'll skip 2 days and 3 days. And it's a bit like WW. You skip one workshop, you skip 2, and before you know it, you put all your weight back on, like we've all done throughout lockdown. So yeah, it's, how are we doing for time? 5 minutes left. Alfie's looking at me as if says, can I have any of that? A bit more. So that's another habit, and to get into that habit, it was literally the first thing I did when I got out of bed. It was like, you have got to do that. Then I added on to that, when I finish my yoga, I have some water. So there's another habit I'm getting into. And it's just putting triggers in place. Another one that I was trying to get into was to remember to be grateful for things. So at 4 o'clock every day, an alarm goes off on my phone to just say, today I am thankful for. and it's especially important that that goes off on a bad day. So, and then I stop just for a minute and I think about, yeah, you know, this might not be good and that might not be good, but this is. I'm just going to slice my dill up. And then like just some of the habits I've been working on, and it's about building up the habits over time. I'm just going to get me a glass of water, just a second. Talking about water, see, made me want some. It's about building up. You know, you don't get to goal by losing a pound, not unless you're already there. But you do get to goal by losing another pound and another pound and another pound. It's about thinking where you're going to get to. You know, if you're struggling to get back on track at the moment because you're eating indulgent food or you feel tired, instead of thinking about what you've got to give up, think about what you're going to get from it. So anybody who watched my video on my Facebook page last week can just see in my demeanour, is that the word? Just in my how I am, that I'm 100% better than I was this time last week. I've ate some amazing food. That was another thing I did. I potted up when my salad come in the post in my weekly shop. I stood and I chopped enough up for 5 of these. Well, this is the last one. So I did that on Monday. Today is Saturday, in case you did not know. So this has been in this pot. Is that 6 days? And it's still edible. The lettuce is starting to discolour a little bit. But, let me show you. It tastes alright. Yeah, look. That is absolutely no. Hold on, I'll hold it up in a minute. Let's just give this a stir. A little bit of lettuce. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. Not wrong at all. And that's 6 days. So I'd say the one I had yesterday had got no discoloration at all. But while I'm showing you that, this is lush. Zesty lemon from Heinz, on offer in Sainsbury's at the minute. A lovely McKnight's got me that. James, Sammy. Shouldn't eat with my mouth full, should I? With my mouth open even. Not full. My mouth's got to be full to eat. Oh no, you know what I mean. I know what I mean. I can eat it straight out of the pan because I'm eating it. That's not cooked. It needs a bit longer, it might need a bit more water if it don't cook. From that, but it's starting to look promising. This says about 18 minutes on here, on the box. They put parmesan in theirs. I might do that, I might add a bit of parmesan when I dish it up, because I saved points on the oil. They use as much oil as it said. So that's been 15 minutes for that. That's got 3 more minutes. Now, I ain't sure how I feel about frozen butternut squash, but I'll let you know in a second. Oh, it's hot. Spam. Oh yeah, if you've got anything you want to ask me. Alright. It's as good as the real McCoy. Put it in the comments, or I'm going to burn myself in a minute, aren't I? This is how real people cook though, eh? Not like Jamie Oliver. Nobody cooks like the proper professionals. Your thumb's burning when you're doing this because you're in a rush and you're hungry. And you just want to get it in the pan, really, is the truth. Yeah. Oh, stir that in. I'll probably burn it. Oh, a bit fell out. But yeah, you can ask me in the comments anything you want to know, anything I forgot to say. I did a walk yesterday. I managed to get an hour's walking yesterday, and I loved that. I don't get to do that very often anymore because of Mum. I miss it. I do miss going out. And it's starting to look quite nice. I wonder if it needs any more water. I can't remember how dry it's supposed to be. I think I'm going to put a bit more water in. because it'll suck it up anyway, will we? That was stock, by the way, in the jug. I just used oxo. It said to use 1, but I used 2 because I like salt. And I've got to die of something, I tell you. You know, if they put on my headstone she died from eating too much salt, I'll be devastated that it wore wine. So I know I should be encouraging you all to cut down. See, now as I stir this in, the butternut squash is moshing in and getting all smoochy, which I like that idea. It's all mixing together. What am I supposed to have done with this dill? Oh, I've got to stir in the peas at the end. That'll be the end. And the dill. I like dill. I think it's one of them things you either like or you don't. It's a good job really, because I don't know if I was supposed to put that much in, but it's in now. Oh, it's looking all professional. I like it when it comes together. You'll lose me in a minute because I'll start eating. You'll wish you'd just fast forwarded to the end. But now that looks really good, and I will put I'll find where I got the recipe from. Pinched it from somewhere. But, well, we tweaked it. We tweaked it out because I used frozen roasted, and they tell me to use that. But that, I don't know if you can see it. Let me taste it. Oh. It's proper nice. It needs salt. You knew I was going to say that there. It needs salt. That dill's really added to it. That's really nice. Anything else? Oh, it does say top with parmesan shavings. How about that? So it'll just say it on the tin. So I've used proper risotto rice. I've used half the quantity here. So 25. It's about 28 points in the old dish. Let me pick you up for a minute. In the whole pan there's about 28 points, roughly. I will point it correctly. But the only thing that I've got to point, let me get me back to where I should. Got all wet. Look, middle-aged flush. The only thing you have to point that I've used is the olive oil and the rice on blue plan. On green, you would also have to point your peas, because that's your punishment for being on more points. So that's me, done. I am going to, I reckon, have some of that for my dinner. Going to put a bit of shavings. We're now at 12:05, so I can have a glass of wine with you. Love you lots, and have a good day. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's a button underneath.